Hey everyone, so I tried to make a video earlier, but due to there's still lagging issues with my tablet, and the screen recorder app just left, and now I'm making a new video. Hopefully this one stays. Anyway, so this is my character Quinzel Schmidt's new outfit, and I decided, you know what? It's not going to replace one of her previous outfits. This is a new outfit that I wanted to make for her. And I thought about it, and this is more appropriate for it's more appropriate like a party dress. She would have outdoor parties with her friends, enjoy nature, dance in fields, pick flowers, sit around in the garden having tea, you know, just enjoy nature. Now, if you saw one of my previous videos, I showed the Arthur Hughes painting of Ophelia that was from 1865. I thought that Ophelia looked absolutely gorgeous, and her face reminds me a lot about how I would imagine my character's face would look. Docile, sweet, almost like a doll, and very almost like a princess. Ophelia similarly wears white and blue. She has blue eyes, like big round blue eyes, thin-ish eyebrows, small lips, pale skin, and long red hair. Ophelia is, if you know about the character Ophelia, she's from the Shakespeare story Hamlet, which takes place during the 14th century. Now, Ophelia is mostly remembered for her death. Well, mostly the paintings visualizing her death, where she drowns, surrounded by flowers, where she deflowers herself. Yikes. But I saw the painting of Ophelia by Arthur Hughes from 1865, depicting Ophelia not drowning, but standing near a tree. And she looked absolutely gorgeous. Her dress was beautiful, her hair was beautiful, her face was so sweet and perfect. I was like, yep, my character is almost like a modern day Ophelia. I'm sorry if that sounds weird, but whatever. So, her dress, I was inspired by the 14th century, mostly due to the bell sleeves. And bell sleeves were also a thing during the 1960s, but mostly during the mod era, which doesn't sit right with me. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with the mod era. It's not overly sexual, but, yeah, I mean, I understand that teenagers were rebelling and wearing mini skirts, but I just didn't like the. I don't. No, especially with like really long hair. Mini skirts would probably not suit a character like mine would. So Quinzel mostly wears knee-length or full skirt dresses. which are more appropriate for the late 50s to early and mid 1960s, before the mod era. Quenzo is wearing a medieval but contemporary 1960s inspired dress, where it's plain, has no Peter Pan collar or any collar at all, no jewelry on the neck, or no gloves, or any gloves, just a simple white knee-length bell-sleeved dress with thigh-high socks that were stockings during the 14th century, and Mary Jane shoes, which were shoes were very, very similar to the now Mary Janes during the 14th century, but they weren't called that. They were called low shoes or latchet shoes or turn shoes for whatever reason. They had a pointed toe and, Mary Janes were similarly made out of leather, but most modern iterations are not, or at least not that I'm thinking of. But did Mary Janes technically exist during the 14th century? Well, similar shoes did, so I would say yes. Some degree, if I'm stretching it. Anyway. And Quenzo's also wearing a flower crown. And since Ophelia is mostly associated with flowers, since I'm using Gotcha Club, and Gotcha Club has the audacity to not have any other patterns or, other, accessories, including other flowers for the character's hair, to put in the character's hair. I've been trying to limit my options, trying to make it contemporary with the 1960s, but also not trying to make it weird or not as accurate. I'm sorry. I'm a bit of a mess. Now, like I said, Quenzo's dress that you can see here is more appropriate with parties in mind, where I was inspired by two dresses. A plain white knee-length short-sleeve dress that was a party dress, but also a bell-sleeved, sort of knee-length, but it was more like a full pleated skirt. That was also plain. It didn't have any collars or jewelry aside from a bow on the waistband. But yeah, Quenzo was wearing a knee-length, bell-sleeved, plain white dress with thigh-high socks and Mary Janes. Even if those kind of articles of clothing weren't exactly accurate for the 14th century, even though similar clothing items like stockings and shoes that were very similar to Mary Jane's did exist during that time. It's a little weird. I mean, how the hell would someone say that 14th century shoes do not look like Mary Jane's? Because I can clearly see that they're very similar to the modern Mary Janes that we have today. Even shoes that were still around during the Victorian era to the 1960s, 80s, or whatever time period you want to say. Anyway, I was inspired by Welcome Home, and if you know about Welcome Home, then you know about the story, or at least vaguely of it, and mostly the characters, and most likely Wally Darling. But yeah, I wanted to create a Welcome Home inspired series involving Quinzel and her 3 friends, Max the monkey, or Max Connor, who I wanted to return because I love him so much. I love him so much. And you know, I thought to myself, he just needs to come back. So has Alyssa, Quinzel's only African American friend. And since the death of Barbie Mattel now, I just need Alyssa to return in my life as well. And a new character, Winston, who knew Quinzel ever since they were like babies. Quinzel knew Alyssa when they were only 5 years old, and Max knew Quinzel when she was 14 and he was 15. They live in a secluded neighborhood by themselves, and sometimes either stay at home or go outside and enjoy nature or go on fun adventures. The story is vaguely that Quinzel and Alyssa found the place by exploring the gardens and finding this beautiful sanctuary with a table and a few chairs where they sat down and enjoyed a cup of tea. I have nothing else to say. But, considering that my character's main story involving the 1960s is no longer canon, mostly due to FNAF, with the week before confirming about the bite of 87 mostly happening to an adult, and even though it's never confirmed with which animatronic caused the bite of 87, I would mostly say Foxy or Mangle. Foxy would make the most sense from the original game, but Mangle would make the most sense because she is a toy animatronic. And the toy animatronics were most likely scrapped due to the incident. I mean, why else would they be scrapped? Mangle in FNAF 2, I don't think that she would really cause the bite of 87 due to her, disfigured state, and she would either scare the kids or just make them attack her, which would not sit right with me. So it's pretty much hard to tell which animatronic actually caused the bite of 87 during that time. Either one of the other toy animatronics or the withered animatronics. But that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it or not, and please stay safe, stay at home,